Today I wanted to share with you 4 new features of Google Sheets. 2 of them are only going to be available to those of you who have Google in your workplace or your educational institution, or if you are paying for or otherwise have the premium Gemini subscriptions. 2 of them should be there for everyone. This has been rolled out in July and it's been done not all at once, so there is a small chance you might not have all of these yet. But we're going to have a look at the AI function. We're going to look at the AI summarization tool. We're going to look at a new import HTML function for getting data from external websites. And we're going to look at the Sparkline function, which will do a little miniature graph inside a cell. So that's a pretty cool one. Wait around to the end. That'll be the last thing we look at. So first up is the AI function. So we go equals AI, and then we give it 2 parameters. The first is our AI prompt, and then the second is a cell range. So here I've put in, write the sales figure in a sentence, and the reference for it is B2. And we can see that it said the sales figure is 10. So it's gone and it's grabbed that 10 and it's done what I've said. It can be really good for things like sentiment analysis. So if we actually had maybe some free text in here from a survey, we can use it to do summarization and data work, although I think their preference is using this other one, summarize this table over here, which we'll have a look at in a second. If we have a look at the help page, and we can see here they've said generate text, summarize information, categorize information, analyze sentiment. And then they've got a number of different examples that they give. And we can see here, some of it will relate to just generate a slogan is a fairly generic one, but other bits will relate to actually picking information out of cells. And I think that is where this function is really powerful, is being able to pull information out of a cell, add that into your prompt that's going to get fired off to Gemini, and then it's going to give you that AI response. So that is equals AI. If you run it and it's shaded out purple, that'll tell you you don't yet have access to it. And that could be because you aren't part of a Google infrastructure, like through an educational institution or workplace, or you don't have the premium Gemini. I'd imagine this is the kind of thing that will eventually make its way out to all users though. Next up, we've got this one here, summarize this table. So whilst down here, I can put in a prompt with something like find the maximum, find the minimum, and I can make this a range. It doesn't have to be a single cell. It can be a range instead. Sometimes it will do that calculation I found, but sometimes it will say, actually, we'd prefer that you use summarize this table. So if we click on summarize this table, then we actually get the Gemini window pop up, and we can see here that it gives a description of what it thinks it sees in the table. And then it even has some suggestions. We can click on show more suggestions. So we can type in a prompt, or we can try one of these. So maybe we'll say create a formula that calculates the profit for each row. Click on that and it'll churn for a little bit. It's generally pretty quick. It has given us the formula. And then if we click insert, it will add it to D2 to D9. So let's click insert, and it has added that to our table. So it will do its generation, and then we can copy or we can insert, depending on what's going to be easier for us in our spreadsheet. We can also put in our own. So maybe we could say, draw a scatter plot of sales versus expenses. And it actually gives us analysis steps. It gives us a sample there. And we can preview, we can copy, or we can insert the chart. This is a really nice way of being able to work with your data, just explore things. If you're a little bit new to analysis, then the fact that it's giving suggestions can be really helpful, and it can be a handy way of speeding up your analysis. Third up, we are going to look at another new function. This is import HTML. It's been around a little bit longer than the AI, and basically what it does is it will go to a website. And so we give it a couple of parameters here. And so I'm giving it the Eurovision Song Contest Wikipedia page. We tell it whether we are getting data that is a table or a list. In this case, it is a table. And then the number refers to which table down the page. So if we actually go to that page, there's a number of different HTML tables, and it's grabbing us the 8th one, which when we have a look, we can see that it has given us this table. And if we go over to Wikipedia, we'll say this is the exact table with all of the countries, the artists, their points, and their place. If we come back and we change this to a 7, just to show you what happens here, have a quick think. And now it's actually gone back and given us the 7th table on that page, which is the semi-final table. And we can see it's updated. It's just pulled everything across there for us. This is really handy for any kind of data that you might want to be pulling off a website. Previously, that was a real headache. And now it's just as simple as this function, location, and which table. I found that it works really well with a number of different data sources, provided it is just a standard HTML table. It's sitting there on a website and it's publicly available. Okay, last up, I want to show you a function called Sparkline. And Sparkline will produce a little mini graph inside a single cell. So let's look at a pretty simple example. If we come down to the bottom of our sales here, and if we imagine actually this was a time series, the default for this function is it will give you a line graph of this data. So those numbers are now plotted there as a line graph. Depending on what type of data you work with, you might immediately see that as handy. We can see that it just fills in a single cell. Sparkline, however, actually has a whole lot of parameters that we can work with. So we can actually alter the chart type. We can do bar and column. We can alter the axes. We can add axes. We can change colors. In fact, if we keep scrolling, we've got all of these options. There's a whole lot to actually really format really nice looking graphs. So if we're using Google Sheets as a way for dashboarding or otherwise displaying data, this is really, really convenient. Because it's a function, we can copy and paste it up and down and around the page for different bits of data. And it's going to update for us as our sheet updates. And it's just going to be a little bit cleaner than having to add graph objects. So I'll show you an example that is a little bit more complex. So here I have changed the chart type to column. And then I've also just added this that is going to tell the Sparkline function how high to make my y-axis. So it just cleans things up. We'll throw that in there. And we can see here with our bars lining up and matching to our data. We can stretch and alter these as we like. So those are 4 pretty cool features that are fairly new to Google Sheets. Even if you're a regular user, you may not have come across all of those just yet. The other thing that I would highlight on the sheet, we've got this button here, Analyze with Visly. Visly is an AI tool that I have previously reviewed. And I'll give you a link here at the end screen for you to be able to take a look at that. They've made some updates since I made that video, but it's a neat little AI tool for being able to analyze data using a variety of languages in different contexts.